What's going on, MreGamersSports? It's TheFinMeansWin and welcome back to Series 2 of the World Super League. And obviously this is the start of the season in Serie B. Got a couple of things to run through. First of all, there's not too many games in this episode, but we've got obviously the transfers that we did make in the pre-season, as well as the pre-season games to round up and the first few matches in the league. So without further ado, I'll get into the matters now. So here we are now, here's the first signing of the window, and we signed Vicente Guatia from Valencia for 850k. Due to the fact that the previous two keepers we had in such as Kingston weren't strong enough for the division that we've just been promoted to. So I wanted to have a solid keeper at the back to win us games, and definitely Vicente has that calibre. Great goalkeeping stats, 17 aerial ability, great handling, great reflexes, rushing out and tendency to punch, which is quite alright to be honest. I don't have a problem with it. Not very eccentric, which is the key stat for a goalkeeper. So I'll move on now to the next transfer. The second signing I made was Florian Lejuan from Villarreal B for 5 million. As you can see, he's not the greatest of defenders, but he's 21 years old, so he's got a lot of time to improve. He's good at heading. And the reason I signed him was because the back four, a lot of the centre halves were aging, so I've decided to bring in a bit of youth to mix it up, and also he's got plenty of time to develop and being in and out of the first team, so he's definitely one for the future more than the present. The next transfer is the one I'm most excited about. We managed to sign Mason Wab Hendricks on a free transfer. He's a free agent, he's 19 years old, and look at his technical stats. 16 first touch, 17 heading, 16 tackling, 17 technique. He's got all the stats and ingredients needed for a strong defensive midfielder, only 19 years old. We've got him tied down to a long-term contract, and hopefully he can develop in the first team this year. I'm very excited about this prospect. I'm almost as excited as him about I am as Carlos Fierro. The next sign I made was Scott Dam from Blackburn Rovers for 8 million. This deal was made pretty much on the back of the Lejuan deal. I had evaluating the squad, and I had Sebastian Toro and all the problems we had with him in the previous season. And João Carlos has definitely declined as a footballer in the previous season. And I needed a new starting centre half, and Scott Dam was available. I mean, look at his stats. He's great technically as a defender, 17 heading, 18 tackling. He's brave, he's got concentration, he's a great influence on the team, and I'll be looking for his experience and ability to shine through this season and guide us towards promotion. I then signed Mauricio Victorino from Cruzeiro for 7.5 million. This was another centre-half deal. Quite a few we've brought in recently, but João Carlos has been sold. I've had to sell Admedov, as you'll see in a bit. So I was left quite rare at the back, and I thought with the signing of Scott Down, if I could get another strong centre-half to play alongside him, I can build a partnership for the future, especially solidifying the goalkeeper. Now we've got a strong basis and platform to use our attacking talent, and definitely have an exciting team this year. The final sign I made was Fernando for 5 million from Porto, and look at his stats. He's great physically and mentally, and he's got great technical stats. He's an all-round brilliant defensive midfielder. The reason behind his signing was the fact that Jusilai has moved up to a more advanced role in my new tactics system, so I needed a defensive midfielder to replace him, and Fernando is definitely in that role and calibre to fill the boots of Jusilai, so I'll be looking for a lot of things to come from him in the coming season. So here's a review then of all the transfers. You've seen all the transfers in. They totaled up to 26 million, leaving us with 11 million left because the board gave us 37 million this season to spend. Angel Correa and Andrea Bertolacci you both saw in the previous episode, so I didn't show you them. Transfers out then, we let Shamil Lahayev and Kabe go on free transfers. Jan Hollander joined Frankfurt on a free transfer, as did Richard Kinson joining Twente. Pinarsi, after his good season last year, I've loaned him out for some more experience to AZ Alkmaar. We let Vladimir Gabulov go to Napoli for 1 million, and Rasim Tagaberov to Standard Liège for 100 grand, and Odil Hamedov to Almeria for 100 grand, totaling 1.2 million bringing in. So obviously we have made quite a bit of loss on transfers this season, but the mega rich board probably won't mind that too much, so we've got a solid base now to move on to the season with. So I'll show you the fixtures now with the new signings in our current squad. So here now is the match result for the first competitive match we played in World Serie B, and it was a disappointing 2-0 defeat to Galatasaray. Vicente Guata scores an own goal on his debut, not the ideal start for him, but I know he's got a lot more to come in the 15th minute, and then Bogdan Stantacu in the 39th minute gave Galatasaray doubled the lead, and that is how it stayed. Disappointing start to the season, I must admit, but Galatasaray are a decent opposition, but with the new signings we've made, we've got to give them time to gel, and hopefully within a month or so we'll be firing on all cylinders and these results won't become a regular occurrence. The second match then, we bounced back from the disappointing defeat to Galatasaray with a 2-0 victory over Newcastle, who were arguably better competition than the previous opponents in which we tasted defeat to. Goals in this one from Fierro and Eto'o sealed the win for us, and as you can see statistically, we absolutely destroyed Newcastle. 23 shots, 12 of which on target, and 60% of the possession, highlighting the fact that Newcastle never had a chance in hell in this one. Was the one shot on target they managed, which was pretty measly. And this is more like the team that I've learned in the previous season, and hopefully we can continue this form and not the one shown in the previous match. The final match I have to show you today was the first round of the Pepsi Cup with our 3-0 victory over Copenhagen. Samuel Eto'o with a brace, making it 3 goals in 2 games, and Kevin Morelas opening his account for the season. Statistically in this one, we were the better of the two teams, 11 shots, 8 of which on target, which is a good clinical ratio, which I like to see. Copenhagen did have more possession than us, but we've managed to put the ball in the back of the net more times than them, so it's not really a telling factor on the game. So before I leave you guys, here's a quick look at the table after 2 games played. We are currently sitting on 4th place, 3 points behind Fenerbahce, who are leading the way at top. One good thing to see though is Galatasaray, who did beat us this month, are currently in 2nd after winning both games, so it shows the opposition we did lose to are one of the better teams in this group. So after 2 games played, we obviously won the one, lost one. We've scored 2 goals and let in 2, so we're the only side with a neutral goal difference. So that does round up today's episode, guys. Sorry about my absence recently. I've been on holiday, etc. But I am back now for good, so I'll be uploading more regularly to the channel. So that does round up today's episode, guys. If you haven't already, please do check my channel out. It'll be in the description below. I've got many more Football Manager series and other discussion points on the go. So thanks a lot, MreGamersSports fans. I've been TheFinMeansWin. Goodbye.